Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Kill the Tales. My name is Markus Vortriede. No, again. Yeah, I'm not Markus Vortriede. That what the Scots call me, because that's the reason why I say I'm Bam Bam. So welcome everyone to a new episode of Kill the Tales. My name is Markus Vortriede. Most or some of you know me as Bam Bam. I hope you have fun. Enjoy this episode. Welcome.
So, Markus, welcome.
Vive.
Highland Games in your life. I heard one day you started with baseball, right?
Basketball, yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah. First, when I was at primary school, I played football, soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I changed to secondary school with fifth grade, I started with basketball. Yeah.
And how did you come into the Highland game?
Wrong place, wrong time. When I played basketball, I was pretty tall with my age. So at 14 years old, I was already 1 meters 84, 85 tall, and I played basketball in a village club. So if you're the youngest, you have to play the center position directly under the basket. And when I grew older, everyone else I had to play against became taller and taller, but I stayed at 190, 195. I'm 196, 97.
Yeah.
And I was then the smallest, so I had to do it like Alonzo Mourning from the Miami Heat did, and do some weight training and play a bit more physical. So I got in touch with weight training back when I was 15. So when I was finishing school, I stopped playing basketball, but still continued doing weight training. And after school, I worked at a company that delivers drinks to pubs, private people, etc. And then a colleague of mine asked me. He told me that he has a friend who wants to open a gym. And for gym promotion, he wanted to sponsor a team for the Kempen Highland Games back in 2005.
Okay, yeah.
And at that time, I didn't know what to do. Sports like only lifting weights was not the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do something with my body. I was thinking about to go into strongman, but then, like I said, wrong place, wrong time. I joined the Highland Games.
Gripped by the.
Yeah.
It's no problem. So yeah, okay. You were gripped and taken by the throwing stuff.
Yeah, it was actually it was in. I met Manfred Mühlenhaus back in autumn 2004.
Mm-hmm.
We with the other guys who wanted to join the team for the promotional stuff, and the first time I trained for the Highland Games was in spring 2005, and then we competed as a team in Kempen Highland Games 2005. We won that team competition, and I became the best solo competitor
Okay.
within all teams. And that allowed me to have a qualification place for the B competition on the next day, on that Sunday at Kempen 2005.
Kempen started also around that year, I believe.
Actually, I think 1 or 2 years earlier, around 2003, I think, was the first time Manfred put up that game. Yeah.
So then you started with in the B class, I think.
Yes.
And then go knowing you 1 year to the A class.
No, it went a bit faster. I had that B heavy competition back in Kempen, and then the following week was the Stegemann game in Beckum.
Yeah.
That's where I started also in the B class. And then the next game was in Halle an der Saale, where I started Bs 2, and I won that competition. And at that time, the Lowlanders were organizing all the huge games, and they were in charge for the sports sector of every game. And they saw me throwing, and they said, "Okay, he's not going 1 year within the Bs. His next game, he's going to be the Ace." And that's how I went into the A class. Yes.
Yeah. What is your favorite event in the Highland Games? This question I always ask.
It's hard to tell because it differs from what goes good and what not. No, I always, because of the heritage, I love the caber, because I think the caber is an event that's unmatched within any sports, and especially the caber is the event that's pretty spectacular for
most people recognize it also. If they ask what is Highland Games, and you tell them about the caber.
The caber,
then they know.
And the thing with the caber is it often is the decision on an overall game. So you often have guys that are good at putting the stone because they come from track and field. They're also good at the distance and the hammer, but then you come to the specific events like the caber, they're not that good, and then they lose points, and so it's always a great event to declare the winner of the overall competition.
Yeah. Do you doing a lot of gym work for?
Yeah, I train. I for sure I do weight training a lot during autumn and winter time, and it becomes less in spring, and when we come closer to the season, to the competitions. Back in the days when I had my best form and my best throwing was about in 2011, 2013. I trained with the programming from Matt Vincent. That's what I do since last autumn again. You have different levels of training. Like a phase, you do high volume, you do only strength or speed. Yeah, and it works best for me. Yeah.
Okay. I think you were quit for a few years, and then now you're almost 40.
Yeah.
You're planning a comeback.
Yeah, people thought that I quit. They said that I quit.
Maybe you hope.
Yeah, well, like I said, I had the best. I started in 2005 and had the best form back in 2011 to 2013. That were my best years. And back in 2013, we bought that house here and did a lot of work at the house by ourselves. and that means you only have 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So we have a normal day-to-day job, and you have to sleep some time, so you don't have that much time for the whole training situation, and the time on the weekends you use to work on the house. That was the reason why since 2014 I did less games. So the last full season I did was, I think, back in 2016 or 17. And since then I nearly stopped training and just had 1 or 2 competitions a year. And when the pandemic hit, I was nearly doing nothing physically, and that didn't train anything, and my body condition became pretty awful, to say that. I became pretty fatty, and I had some stressful times at work and privately, and during that time. I don't know if you know that, but I recognize when you have some dark times in your life, you need to come back to the point where these times were pretty awesome and pretty good.
Yeah.
And I worked out of the dark episode of my life within doing again physically work. I started with some mobility training. Do you know Diamond Dallas Page, the old wrestler? He has a yoga programming that I started back in 2022, and it's a lot of mobility stuff, and that's the way I came back into physical work. And
but you need some point of motivation.
Yeah. And at that point, my only motivation was to become less fatty, and I wanted to become a better myself again.
But you need,
because I remembered the good times I had within the Highland Games. It's not about admiring by the people in attendance or something like that. It was just the great games I was allowed to attend at, and I was allowed to compete in, and the great people I met through my whole career, if you want to tell it that. And that was in the first point was my motivation to become a better form of myself. And you know Raffi Büscher, right?
Yeah.
She's a vice president of the club I founded, and she pretty talked me into doing a full season again, and that's the reason why I jokingly call her my tour manager these days, and with her talking, and I started thinking about going into another full season again, and I started weightlifting, lifting weights again in spring 2023, and then I went back to the programming I once did, which Matt Vincent put up in autumn. And for this year, I just thought, okay, I'm doing a full season just to see how my body reacts, and if I'm feeling fine, if my joints and my back are feeling good, I'm going into full force back in 2025.
But you actually you're waiting for a time or you reach a point that you said to yourself, okay, what I'm gonna do, and in this story, Rafi came to you, and told you, okay, let's try, and then it give you some motivation.
Yeah, it gave me mostly. It gave me the point to think about, and that takes time too. But in the end, the decision was for me was pretty clear, because the most happy times I had in my life was always back with the Highland Games. And within my career since 2005, at different stages, my motivation has been to do the games. So at first I had pretty much pep talk from the outside. You're the best. You're going to be the best in Germany and everything. So that in the first stage, I was very egomaniacally, and I thought I want to be the best, and I have to beat everyone at every competition. And was growing up, and you have to imagine I was 20 when I started with the games. You're mostly like a teenager at that time. And the second stage was around beginning with the 10th years, 2011 to 13, 14. My mind changed, and I wanted to be just do my best throwing, which helped me a lot with my throwing, because I was not that close-minded and want to beat everyone. And I was allowed to throw a lot more openly and with a free mind. And now I'm at the stage of thinking that I say I just want to have a good time. For sure, there in the background, I want to be the best version, and I have some points on the bucket list I want to do again within the Highland Games. So I'm planning to go back to Scotland. I want to come in one or the other event. I want to better up my personal bests. Probably I'm allowed to throw with a 56 above 5 meters, which I was never allowed in a competition. And
I think it's also something saying about your age. When you started to get older,
you grow up.
Your mindset is also a little bit more changing. I can enjoy now more competing in Highland Games than some years ago. Then it's just like what you said. I want one thing, all the best, and the rest doesn't bother me.
And especially my I don't know how to call it in English, but I think my position has changed within the sport. So in the beginning, I was a young gun. Then I had a phase where some people called me one of the best in Germany. And now I'm in a phase where I throw with guys that were toddlers or in primary school when I started doing the Highland Games. So
I think you reached the master's mindset.
Yeah, and if the master's mindset is that you want to perform your best, but also want to mentor some younger ones, then probably for sure. Yeah.
You're enjoying it more.
Yeah.
I know that feeling, but sometimes I say also at home, okay, let's enjoy this game and we'll see what the results bring. But in my mind, I'm thinking, no, I want to be as high as possible I can,
Yeah.
But when I'm in a field of 10 masters and I do the best I can, I throw as far as I can do, and I became 10th or 10 or 8 or 10 or something like that, I'm okay. But if I'm not throwing that well, of course I'm still not happy, and then I can say, okay, I'm throwing just for fun. But that doesn't work.
To be honest, at that point, I'm if that's part of the master's mindset, I'm not completely there, because
that's
how you do that, yeah. But back in the day, back 10 years ago, or back in 2010, 11.
I'm 50 plus.
Yeah, I know. I've been a toddler when you started throwing.
I found some peas on the field now.
No, in that way, my mindset is like it was 10 or 15 years ago. I want to perform my best.
Yeah.
So, and if I have a competition where in every event where I put up a personal best or I'm close to my personal best, and then I become 12th of 13 athletes, I'm pretty much fine with that. But if I know my throwing was not that good that day, and I could have been better because don't know what was wrong that day, and I just become 12th out of 13 athletes, I'm not the happy dude.
That I do recognize that, yeah, but just what I said, if I give all the best I can and it runs okay, then it's fine to me.
Yeah.
But if I had some bad numbers, no.
Yeah, especially if you know, okay, last training, my storm was 3 feet better. Why is it not going like that? Yeah, it is what it is.
But it's
So
also, you know what you have thrown in the past.
yeah.
You're almost 40.
Yeah.
You can skip everything from the past.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm now 50. Everything I throw in the 40.
Yeah.
Okay, that was then.
It's a hard thing for me to accept because let's take the hammer. Let's take the light hammer. My personal best with a light hammer was about 3850, 3860, which is about, don't want to lie, but I think it's about 127, 128 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
And when I first throw the light hammer in spring, it was about 100 feet. And I was like, okay, that's crap. And so then my best was about 105, 106 feet. And I had to completely reinstall my hammer throwing. I had to completely break it down in my movements. And now I'm coming back at 110 feet, 115 in some throws in training, but you're surely right. It's one thing within the age, but on the other hand, I'm feeling physical, body wise, I'm feeling better than 10 years ago because I changed my nutrition. I looked for all the vitamin things, omega-3 acids, what you can do for your joint healing using Wope enzyme, the stuff. And body-wise, I'm feeling pretty awesome. And then to accept that your throwing is not that good as it used to be is pretty hard. But hopefully, I will be back at that numbers or close to that numbers next year. We'll see.
I hope for you, but I think that's something about age.
Yeah, you know who's a great ideal for that, showing that age is not the main point. It's Peter Karsbaumer. He's even 2 or 3 years older than me.
Yeah, and even Peter is not throwing the weights as far as he.
No, but let's take the weight of a bar. I can't remember when Peter has not thrown 5 meters within the weight of a bar in a competition. No. So you see, even with that age, you're allowed to have a great throwing. So I really admire Peter for that, doing it that way, and it surely is a point where I want to get again. Back in when
Peter
was it?
Is also an example that you don't have to be that big.
No, for sure not. For sure not. For sure not. That's someone said the less talent you have, the heavier you are within the Highland Games. So I was, let's call it talent free, because my highest weight was about 174 kilos back in 2000. When was it? 10 or something like that. And I had a long time. I had the thinking that the heavier you are, the stronger you are. You throw more bigger numbers. And I want to change that now. So since beginning of the season, I at Campen Games I had 165 kilos. Now I'm at 155. And I'm aiming for around 145, 140 around Christmas time. And I want to see what my body is allowed to do when I'm coming down with a body weight, especially with taking guys like Peter Karst or Daniel Doro or the other athletic guys as an example. Vladislav for sure. He's
and also look at Craig Walker.
Yeah,
he's very fast, and the youngsters in the Netherlands like Duncan de Bruin, and you have also Vortriede, Zelstra.
Yeah. Or an old the Clipper.
Those are not big guys. They're throwing.
Glenn Nice. Look at Glenn Nice. He's third at the world competition, and he's weighing about 30 kilos less than me, or 35 kilos, and they're pretty speedy and very technique. Pretty. What is it in English? Technical? Don't know. I'm sorry. But I want to see if I can reach the 140 kilos and compete with that next year. It would be the lightest I've been since back in 2005. So we'll see what it does.
It's important for you to look how heavy you are. If you have
a
program of eating, and maybe you become 130 or even 120, and you still feel good.
Yeah, that's one point. And the weight was once the thing to look about. As an example, I wanted to break the German record with a heavyweight for distance. In my mind was you have to be pretty big and heavy to put more power into that. David Fry at the time showed that you don't have that big to throw the German record, because he put up the German record at the same competition I wanted to go to.
I heard this year from Tommy de Bruin.
Yeah.
It was not his own words. I thought he has it from Ryan Ferreira, who said that mass moves mass.
Yeah.
That's true also, but
yeah. And Ryan was not that slim at this time.
No. He was a beast.
Great man. Met him once in Scotland. Unfortunately, I only met him once, but fortunately I was allowed to meet him once. And we had a talk about 20 to 30 minutes. And in that 20 to 30 minutes, I probably learned more than about the Highland Games and throwing and training stuff. Then I learned pretty in about weeks or something like that. It was great man. Sadly he passed, but
I've seen him. I met him in Fürstenwalde.
Yeah.
He was there also.
2013, the World Championships.
Could be,
when he was over with Franz Brepner.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
For the books, I became 6th at that World Championship.
I was there for the European Championship.
Yeah.
I don't know the results.
You don't want to?
I can tell you the results from Switzerland. 22. I was second.
But it's like that thing of laughter you share about after a game like this. That's what I missed in the last years. So the thinking about the great games I had in Scotland, example at Cole. I stood at the Cole Highland Games within the caber. It was a rainy day. Alan Pettigrew was judging me within the caber, and just before the caber, it started raining as
cats and dogs.
Yeah. only in Scotland. And it was, if you ever have been at coal games, it was mass of people. I don't know how much, 15, 20, I don't know. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was raining, and they were all sitting still there and watching the caber. And there was a there was a drunk dude with a naked upper body, painted blue and white like the Scotland flag, and it was because of the rain that the whole paint was nearly washed off. And he was like, and the announcer was, "No, it's Bam Bam from Germany," and the drunk guy, you heard him, "What? Germany? We show in Scotland," and he started singing "Scotland the Brave." and the people next to him joined him singing "Scotland the Brave," and I was, at that time I was 21, 22, something like that. And I was like, okay, now I have to put that slippery caber up. How? It was. I hope once dementia kicks in, I hopefully that's one of the memories I forget the last, because it was that amazing. And Alan was standing next behind me and was saying, "Come on, young gun, you have to go. Hurry up."
That's typical Alan. Yeah.
You know, and that's the stories I want to share. We were at a competition. I don't know where it was. Somewhere, I think it was Scotland too.
Did you do a lot of competitions in Scotland?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
just a few?
My overall competition kicks to 200, and I counted them to 100, and then I lost track. But in I've been, I think it was 13 times that I was in Scotland, and I did a few games. The greatest experience, I think, was for sure coal. The coal Highland games. I've been there 2 or 3 times. And the other great experience in Scotland was when I was allowed to stay a whole week with Jason Young. I think it was back in 2011 too. Jason allowed me to stay at his house, and I traveled with Jason to different games. So I did Strathpeffer, Isle of Skye, Highland games.
I did Isle of Skye also.
Amazing.
I was really impressed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the weight of a bar, which is a block weight with a handle inside the block.
Yeah. Still do.
Okay, that's your weight. Go for it. I was like, okay, how to manage that?
That was the way they used it for the weight for distance and the weight of a bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another fun story on that game. It's about, they have the march of the pipe band out of, for everyone who hasn't been there, it's an old volcano. You compete inside, and all the people stand around up from you, and there's only I think there's only one entry or exit where the march the pipe band can march. And Jason said after the competition, okay, we have to move quickly to get to the car because a pipe band is using the same way and they're marching pretty slowly. And if we're not in front of them, we need hours to get to the car. And I said, yeah, Jason, for sure. And on the exit, some German journalist came up to me and spoke to me and said, hey, I heard you're from Germany and wanted to do an interview. And Jason was, oh, you could see him fuming. And after 2 or 3 minutes, he was about, Bam Bam, stop being German superstar. Come on, move your ass. And I said, yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Well, Jason,
I love this man. No. Jason is amazing. His hospitality. He came up to me just barely knowing me from a few competitions before. was unmatched, and I'm to this day I'm still thankful for that experience.
Yeah, that was a great memory.
Yeah.
Of sure, of course. I know Isle of Skye. I heard some people. There were tourists from the Netherlands too.
Yeah.
They came to me
Yeah.
after the games, and how the hell you can on Dutch, of course.
Yeah.
How the hell you came here? So I don't know. I brought a kilt and I thought, I jumped in.
Yeah.
But I've seen also pictures from you in Norway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's snapshot games.
Yeah, yeah.
Been there twice.
Yeah.
I was allowed to be invited twice. I have to tell it that way. Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Trond was an organizer together with his wife. Amazing. Again, amazing hospitality. To be their guest was really an honor. For everyone who doesn't know it, about Snefjord is a place which holds about 80 people to live there.
Yeah.
And on that game were always about 400-500 people. And the first event was always when, well, the time I was there, the first event was a weight over bar at midnight. And the game in Norway was in July. And there's no darkness in the night. The sun's still shining. And we started the weight over bar at midnight. And on the hill nearby was always a solo piper playing the pipes. Unmatched setting in a bay up in Norway. It was about, I think, 70 kilometers south of the North Pole. Yeah. And was a hell to get there, but was worse every hour you sat in a car or in a plane or on whatever.
I did that also Andoy.
Yeah.
Also for Sveinung.
Yeah. Sveinung, Tankstad. Yeah.
And it was 18 hours to come there.
Yeah. Well, can I say that pain in the ass to get there? But it was worth everything.
After those 18.
Yeah.
You know? and just for throwing some weight.
Yeah. They gave us 1 year. I've been there with Spencer Tyler has been there.
Yeah.
And on that game, I bet Spencer Tyler with a heavy hammer. I think he was on his honeymoon and was interested in some other things. But I have to mention that.
Oh, no, but really bad.
Yeah. But I bet him only the heavy hammer. The other was for him. And we were. They had a special event. The 13 stone, which was named after a girl that went missing on the sea. It was about 187 kilos heavy,
yeah.
And you had to carry it for distance.
Yeah.
So
you had to pick it up from the ground.
No. It was on a stand on a stand, but you still had was only, I think, 40-50 centimeters like that, and the rest you had to lift. The other way you have to lift it, and it was formed like this, so that you had to grab it on the smaller side on the bottom. And Peter Sjorts was with us. He was born in the Netherlands, but now lives in Germany. And that day a legend was born. Peter is about what is he? 180, 1.85 meters, 190, something like that. And he's one of that guys that doesn't compete with his size. he's very sportive. He's normal size, and everybody was like, "Okay, Peter, you go first," because everybody expected it to be the shortest distance to go. And Peter was okay, sorry, and he picked it up, and he just had the perfect body size to lift it, because the reason, the thing is, he's not that tall. He had not that much weight
Hmm.
to lift the whole weight.
Everything fits well.
Yeah. And he just made the first step, made the second step, and he walked 1 meter, another meter, and everybody got more excited. He did 10 meters, 15 meters,
He walked out
and he just walked and walked and walked and walked. And in the end, I think he did 100 feet, 30 meters. And everybody was, yeah! And since then, we call him the legend of Snefjord. Myself did about, 7, 8 meters, something. Then I passed out. Spencer was about 12 or 15 meters, something like that. But Peter was about, I think, please comment or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think to this day, this is still the record with that stone in Snefjord. That's just one another amazing experience just to be there, and great memory.
Well, I think that's the reason you make a comeback,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe to get some more memorial.
I want to go back to the Tommy, if you see that, we have to go back to Cowell, to the Sindbad's pub.
I don't know.
No, you don't know that? The ceiling is just over 2 meters. When Tommy wanted to finish his glass, he was drinking like this, or with a straw, because he couldn't go that way, because the ceiling was too down. It was always fun. Tommy, I always love going out with you, because when my wife or my friends go out with me, I'm the one who's watched at.
Mm-hmm.
If I go out in the evening with Tommy at a game or something like that, everybody's watching Tommy and I'm at my piece. So that's a good thing.
Hey, you said it a few times before, Bam Bam.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
Actually, it came from the man everyone in Germany, in speculation in relation to the Highland Games, has to be thankful for. It comes from Manny Mühlenhaus.
Mm-hmm.
He's been my first mentor, my first trainer. He's the one who opened a lot of doors for me, who got me in contact with a lot of people, like Alan Pettigrew and name countless other names. That I was allowed to do the games I wanted to do. And I don't think without Manfred, Highland Games Germany would be not that big as they are now, or it would have been taking a longer time. And he came up with that name, I think it was at the games in 2005 in Bad Lausick. Must have been one of my first games.
Yeah.
And we were in the organizer booked an apartment for us, and there was Manfred, I think, then Carsten Kirk, the Stegemann brothers, Ralph Conninger, myself. Yeah, I think we were 6 or 7 people. And Manfred, we only had one bathroom. And I was, in the morning, I was doing my morning business, the big one. And
Manfred,
no, I need some time.
Yeah.
So there's some business that needs some time. Yeah. And
just give me some.
Yeah, just some time on the day. And Manfred, it probably took too long for Manfred, and he knocked on the door. Bam, bam, hurry up. I was like, what's going on? Went out of the bathroom and I say, yeah, I'm sorry. And since then, he didn't stop calling me Bam Bam the whole day. And on probably it was close to the prize ceremony, Gert asked him, why are you calling him Bam Bam all the day? And Manfred was about, yeah, you know the Flintstones? And Gert was, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
He's like Bam Bam from the Flintstones. He's the youngest one with us, but he's one of the strongest. And he's a bit not that normal.
Who is?
So that was the reason I got the name Bam Bam, and till this day I go with that.
Yeah.
Sometime afterwards, I got the caveman going with that, and from that came Team Caveman, which is which I call all the people around me.
I saw you in Kamen. Yeah, Kamen for the first time.
Yeah.
Your name on a kill, Bam Bam.
Yeah.
He's throwing the numbers, blah blah, something like that.
Yeah.
Bam Bam should be something from the Flintstones.
It's like it's from Flintstones. I'm Manfred. If you see that, thanks for everything, especially for that name. No, for sure, for everything I was allowed to do within the Highland Games. I know we had Manfred and I had our private differences about other things.
Yeah.
But sports-wise, I just can't. I probably haven't told him enough how much I'm thankful, not especially only for myself, but for the sports in whole Germany within.
Yeah. I know Manfred did a lot of for the Highland Games in Germany, also for Kempen.
Yeah.
And well, he. When I'm thinking about Manfred, I'm always thinking first of all at the World Masters in Stuttgart 2018.
Yeah.
I told him before. He was third and I was fourth.
Yeah.
He was 2 points in front of me.
Yeah.
So I thought, oi. But he had an operation on his hips.
Hips, yeah. He has a I think now he has 2 new hips. Both sides are replaced.
Makes a big comeback. And okay. Not only I should say some bad words, but it's okay for me.
Yeah,
you know.
Just to accomplish that was after something like a hip replacement is just it's unmatched.
And if you make a comeback like that, so and speaking about Manfred had his own Highland Games. You had also your own Highland Games.
Yeah.
It was a memorial game.
Yeah.
Stefan Baker.
Stefan Baker, yeah. Well, the story starts different. When I was younger, I always said with my 30th birthday, I'm going to put up my own Highland game just for having my birthday. But turning 30, we were in full force with the house and everything, and then the March after that, it was beginning of March, Peter and Gert Stegemann came by, and for some time, I think Ralph Conninger was with them too, and Tim. Yeah, I think there were 4. Yeah, they came by because I moved house, and at that time I was nearly finished with the first work to do, and I was putting up my training ground here, and Peter and Gert came by and brought me some cavers and as a present, and we had some training, and within the training. They informed me about that Stefan Backer passed away a couple of weeks earlier. And for everybody who doesn't know, Stefan, when the time I started, Stefan was one of the best athletes within the Highland Games in Germany. He won several times the Highland Games in Machern, which then was the German Championships. And he was just a nice guy, and he was with the Lowlanders, with Michael Marshall and all the others, putting up the biggest competitions then at that time in Germany. And he was some kind of friend and sportsman wise, and a mentor. And I it was pretty hard for me because I saw him the last time at the Tripson Games in September before, and he was not active at that time in putting up games and organizing everything, but he still came to the Tripson Games, which was about, I don't know how many 100 kilometers away from his house. And it was raining, and we finished the prize ceremony, and I just wanted to go home because I had to work the next day. And he was coming to the field, and I was leaving the field, and it was raining cats and dogs, like you said. And due to the hurry I had, I just said, "Hey, hope you're doing well. I have to go." Just a quick chat about 1 or 2 minutes, and I said, "We see us next year, so it's some game," because I don't know, he was 46, 47, something like that. And the next thing I heard about him was that he passed, and yeah, he's one of those athletes that we lost much too early, like Stephen Aitken or Sentner, Mark Hunter, and it shows that you should take the time with the people when you have the chance to take the time.
I just would like to ask, did you thought later from, I wish I should talk to
Yeah, definitely.
a bit longer?
Yeah. That's one thing I
but you know,
I put it.
It's normally that you're not directly thinking, okay, I have to talk with this guy 5 minutes, and with him.
Yeah, sure. You have,
because you never know what.
No, you have
you're not thinking that way.
You have for sure that, and you have people within the games who have a closer connection, and the other ones which is more loose. But at that time, I knew Stefan about 10 years or something like that, and yeah, it just hit me, and I wanted, in combination with that, I said several years before that, for my 30th birthday, I want to put up some games. I said, okay, we're going to combine that, just to remember Stefan and his accomplishments within the sports, and to remember him as what he was as a sportsman. And he was some kind, like Manfred, one of the founders from the Highland Games. He was, characterly wise, he's completely different from Manfred. Manfred is an open guy. At that time, he was a showman. He was talking to everyone, and Stefan was more like concentrating on the sports side, and to better himself and his way of throwing, and like the Nordic people in Germany are, they're just more introverted. Is that the English word? Yeah. And but still with a great sense of humor, and
great ambassadors for the Highland.
Yeah, sure. And I wanted to just to do one thing, and then I said, okay, we're going to put up a Highland game just to remember him. And I saw then before that they have in Scotland memorial shields for special persons. And just to remember them. And I said, that's one great idea to do that in Germany too. Just so my idea came up with, you see it in the background, with a Bucker shield. And we installed that. So every winner gets a plaquette? Yeah, on the shield. And so trophy for home too, but just to put up some kind of tradition or something like that. So every winner of the Kölsum Highland Games, which is the name of my game, of our games, because I'm not allowed to put that up on my own. You have to, if you want to organize a Highland game, you need a lot of people to do that. But yeah, that was the reason the games were installed. Yeah.
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 Okay. So now we are back in 24, and we have the World Masters coming up. You're not competing this time,
No.
but we have some plans for the future, or is it just I see it per season?
At my age, you don't make long planning.
That's true.
No, just kidding. Well, I think this season goes pretty well, and not happy with my distances, but happy with how I feel. And actually, I going to join a gym again. I mostly trained at home the last 13 or 14 years. Or
How many times in a week?
In the winter, it's 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times a week. But in the summer, it's only 2 to 3 times. Weightlifting and throwing is in the winter. If the weather is good, once a week. Yeah. And so if you go to spring,
you throw once a week.
Yeah, in the winter.
Yeah, but I mean, you still throwing in the winter also?
Yeah. Just for the movement, and just doing 1 or 2 events, just to stay in the movement.
And as soon as would be that's not a word. As soon as possible to go throw outside.
Yeah.
It's 2-3 times in a week.
Yeah, so in spring, the weightlift, the days I do the weights, lifting weights or weights training, decrease. So it goes to 3 days a week, and the technical throwing is about 2 to 3 days a week. So it changes a bit. Yeah. But I'm planning for next year. To come back to your question, I'm planning to go back to Scotland. I want to go back to the motherland. Yeah. I already talked to Alan Pettigrew. He's organizing 1 or 2 games. I'm planning on going there.
Alan is doing the
at Rossen Games, Bute. Bute Highland Games, which was yesterday, I think.
You have to go by boat. Ferry.
Yeah.
Go by ferry.
Yeah, but I'm planning once or twice going back to Scotland next year. I've been in 2016. I've been with Markus and Stefan Kremer. I've been to Newtonmore Highland Games, which was a beautiful place. It's in the middle of the Highlands, and a beautiful place and amazing people. Very, very friendly, very kind people. And very, very cheap parking. You only have to pay the guy 1 beer, and he watches after your car. That's another great story. I have to tell it.
Kind of
no. Even if Stefan Kremer is embarrassed right now, I have to tell the story. That is amazing. Mark and Stefan and I planned to go there, and when we arrived at Inverness Airport. Yeah. We had a rental car, and I booked an automatic, and because I drive automatic in Germany, and I was supposed to drive in Scotland too, so it's pretty different to drive on the wrong side, and so I wanted to have an automatic car, that no shifter. That's
You can only concentrate on
on one thing. Yeah, I'm a male. I just can concentrate on one thing. Yeah, right. And and when we came to the rental center, I told my booking number, my name, and I got the keys for the car. I went to the car, and it was a shifter.
Oh,
and I said, oh, fucking hell, I didn't book that. I went back into the station. I said, I'm sorry, but that's a shifter, and I booked an automatic. I would like to have an automatic not because I booked it, but it's easier for me to go with that. I said, yeah, to see if I have an automatic. And then he he looked in after some keys in his box, and he put some Mercedes-Benz keys out of the box. And he used the key with what is it? The Fernbedienung.
Yeah.
Will be translated. He opened with that key. He opened a Mercedes car. It was a GLS with about 1,000 miles on driven. Big SUV. And he asked me, "Is that okay?" And I was like, "We'll go." Stupid idea, never book a big car in Scotland. Because the streets became pretty narrow if you go with that car and a truck comes from the other side. But anyway, on the day we broke up from the bed and breakfast from Newtonmore Highland Games, Stefan was the first one in the car, and he threw his bag in the trunk, right to the back seat, and I put my bag in. Markus put his bag in, and we went for Newtonmore Highland Games. The parking lot was on a field, on grass, on a grass field, and that car had an off-road mode.
Okay, yeah.
So I put on the off-road mode, and the car went up because it was off-road. I was like, I can do that, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I went on the parking lot, parked. Markus got his bag out. I got my bag out. And Stefan Kramer is not the tallest athlete, one of the most speedy athletes, but not the tallest. He was standing in front of the truck, couldn't reach for his bag because it was still an off-road mode. It was like, "Bam, bam, can you give me my bag, please?" I said, "Sure, son, I can do that." That was fun moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great day.
Yeah. So you have to go back to Scotland to do.
Yeah, I want to next year. I want to, as I said, once or twice. I want to go to Scotland. The guys in Switzerland are doing amazing, putting up great games. And I want to perform there with a bit better shape, bit more competitive than I've been this year. I've been at one game in Switzerland. Amazing people, amazing place to go. Hopefully, I'm allowed to go back there. I think they do that game only every 2 years, so I'm going to.
Which game is that?
Got me. Forgot the name because we call it. I can't say that. No. Yeah, wait. You know Simeon Brugger? Simeon Brugger. Yeah, and we gave the game the Swiss game nicknames from Lord of the Rings. I don't want to mention which game was at which nickname, so I forgot the real names. And as I said before, Raffi is doing my tour originally. Raffi is doing my tour management. She does the application form and everything for me at this year at the game, and hopefully she does that next year too. Because to be honest, due to the fact that I haven't done a full season since a couple of years, I don't know the locations. I don't know the people to talk to. Everything.
But if you say I'm Bam Bam, they know.
If you say that, okay. I don't think that.
On Simeon Brugger, Neuendorf.
Neuendorf,
yeah.
Neuendorf, is it Neuendorf? Yeah, it could be. Yeah. It's called Mittelland Games, but we called it Middle Earth. So, which is Lord of the Rings is Middle Earth.
middle of something.
Middle of something nowhere. Yeah. Also, they were pretty unlucky. They had the guts to if I'm allowed to mention that, they had the guts to jump. I think they jumped in last year to put up the Masters World Championship, and they had the guts to do it and put up an amazing game, which was very, very unlucky, hit by stormy weather the whole weekend. And but I think everyone who has, I've been there as a judge, and even for me as a judge, it's been an experience. And I think for every athlete, it was an experience too. They had that much work put in within the cabers. They had for every age class and weight class, they had, I think, up to three different cabers, and they painted them differently, and they did put so much love in that game, and it was pretty unlucky that it went weather-wise that bad. Yeah,
there was a storm. For just a few minutes.
Yeah.
And destroyed a lot of things, and cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
We were, I think, maybe 1 hour from that area. We were a week before, and we were sitting outside, and then just a few seconds, the storm hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
And later on, I heard what's happened in at the game area.
Yeah.
Okay. But the weather wasn't working with us, but the game itself was
it was great,
very well organized.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had the honor to judge the men's 60 to 64.
Yeah.
With Jürgen in it, and Bren, yeah, and all the other big names from the US and Canada, from different federations. And I can tell that now because we had a judges meeting, and supposedly nobody wanted to judge that class. So they said, okay, let's give that to Bam Bam. He can manage that with Hans-Dieter Doro in it, and everyone. It was just an honor to judge that class, because there were a lot of very accomplished athletes that were doing the Highland Games, that had all done a lot for the Highland Games within North America, within Europe, and it was just an honor to judge that, and it was great.
I have a lot of respect for 60 plus class, and also 70, of course. But yeah, and I know Hans-Dieter very well, and Jürgen Stickelbrock, and Brand Abbott. He's a good friend of mine, and I love to watch those guys throwing the weights, and it's for me something like, okay, I can continue for a few years.
Yeah,
if
sure.
my body wants to.
Yeah, they're a good example for that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, Markus, it was a long story, funny story. Right?
I think I forgot the half.
Well, we have to do a part 2. And it's really, I'm really satisfied what you already told, and it's funny to hear. Or funny, it's great that you came back.
Thank you.
After a period of okay, what I'm gonna do, and and now you came back and you know what to do.
Yeah.
And I hope I see you for the what would we say? I hope we see each other for the coming 20, 30, 40 years.
Let's just say for the next season.
Until we fall on the ground. I'm gone. No. I appreciate your whole story.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. And as I said it on social media before, I think it's the great thing that you do this great project. We have a lot of podcasts in this world. I think this is one of the only for the Highland Games, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
And I thank you for the work you put in. I know I don't know because I haven't done it, but I just can imagine how much work it is to cut everything and that stuff. But I want to thank you not only for giving athletes a place to talk about their careers or whatever you want to call it, but to give the viewers a better side on the Highland Games and what the Highland Games are.
Yeah, and also, the main thing is what I said before. We talk to each other on the field, hi, bye, and how you doing? No, but what do you actually do for training and private life? If you would like to tell that, we don't know. So you got a different view from the athletes.
So we have to do a second part because you haven't asked me about anything about my private life and that stuff.
What do you do for a living? Or two.
Soon to come.
That's me.
You can cut that. You're the master of that.
I'm not gonna cut that. It's the truth.
No, you're very welcome for a second time if you like to. Probably after next season or in front of next season, we will see.
Yeah. What do you do for a living, Markus?
He wants to go another hour. Okay. No. To make it short, in Germany we have when you leave school, you can go to the university or you can run an education path. I did 3 years education as a nurse, and after that, I did another 2-year education for a nurse, as a nurse for intensive care and anesthesia. And I worked over 10 years on intensive care unit. And I now do audits, which is quality checks in nursery homes and services that do nursery care work for people that can't care for themselves at home. And I do the audits at these institutions to check if they fulfill the law regulation and the standards for modern nursery in Germany. Yeah, that's what I do.
You did that right away from school?
No. When I left school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I worked as...
That's normal.
Yeah. I finished school after 13 years, which means in Germany you have the qualification to go to a university. But I didn't. I didn't do an education directly after school. It took me several years to see what I wanted to do. So I just worked as a security guard on the weekends, and like I mentioned in the beginning, at a company that delivers drinks for pubs and that stuff during the week. And then after 2 or 3 years, it came to my mind to, sports-wise, it came to my mind to work as a physiotherapist. But in Germany, the education for physiotherapists is pretty expensive, and I lived on my own since I was 18 and a half, 19.
Okay, yeah.
So I had the money to do that, and then you have Manfred again. At that time, he brought up to my mind to make an education as a nurse, and so I started that and did that, and went then to intensive care stuff.
There's always something who makes it attractive to go there.
Yeah, and
I mean, you don't want to know what you're gonna do for work, and then something comes up in your life?
Yeah, it's like with everything in life. You can't plan the most things. The most important things just happen to you, and
That's how I'm thinking also.
without planning, that's how.
Everything comes on your road.
Yeah, sure. That's how I came into what I do now for a living. That's how I came into the education that I did. That's how I met my wife.
Yeah.
That's how I met some of my best friends. And it's just life. It's funny, and it's a good thing that you don't know what happens next year or the day after tomorrow.
Yeah,
so you go for that.
I'm thinking the same.
Yeah.
Don't plan. I try not to plan that far away. You know, I'm not thinking always. Okay, next year I'm gonna do this and that. I'm just looking at week by week or month by month. But sometimes some things you have to make a plan.
Yeah.
But not. I'm doing this in about 5 years.
I think you can do some planning, sports-wise or work-wise or private.
Yeah.
In private life, but it's important to be flexible.
Yeah.
So to change that plan when you have to, or if you see a better opportunity that you can take, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I ask now what you do for a living.
Yeah, and the other 13 questions you had?
We need a part 2, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
How long is that now?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
If it's too long, just skip a part or two. Or
No.
the viewers can make a drinking game of that. Every time we drop some name, they have to drink a shot of whiskey or rum. They definitely will be drunk after this episode.
We will become how do you say that? It's our responsibility to
don't drink and drive.
Yeah, for example, and we don't need drunk viewers.
No.
So, Markus, again, thank you very much, and
thanks for having me.
I think and I hope you like this video and interview also with Markus. And as you know, joining the Highland Games is an opportunity to discover the world and meet some friends and doing funny things. And I hope you like it. Share it if you want. And Markus, like I said, we need a part 2.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
What do you would like to say?
I want to drop another name.
Let's go.
Warren Trask once said, "How to meet new friends without meeting strangers." And I think that's a great saying. Thanks for watching. See you.
Goodbye. Thank you.